Knicks and Bruises, we are back. Shout out to the chat. Yo, Black is time. I got my guy DJ Shuttle in the building. What's good, Shuttle?
All aboard, all good. You know how we do it.
Yes, sir. Uh, I ain't get to watch the two summer league games. Just had to watch the highlights. So we're gonna break down the highlights. What we saw from those highlights, and talk about this next game. What we want to see in this next game tonight. But yeah, you said you didn't see the games either, right?
No, I'm down with highlight game right now.
No doubt. NBA TV, I ain't got it. I ain't paying for it. So, but what up with you?
Nah, just doing my best to stay entertained during this summer season. Seeing seeing what we got with these players that these star bench players that Tibbs didn't play. You know what I mean? And seeing what they got.
So let me ask you this: coming into the summer league, before any games were played, what were you looking? What were you looking to see? Who did you maybe expect to maybe show out and show some things? And what was your expectations coming into the summer league? Because I know the narrative amongst a lot of Knicks fans was, "Yo, we stacked this summer league roster, is stacked. We about to, what I mean, show out. Everybody coming back. All these expectations. We 0-2 right now. So, what was your thoughts coming into the summer league?
Shout to the replay game. I want to go check the receipts because Tone, we did actually talk about this before Summer League kicked off. So I said the person I was looking forward to seeing the most from was Kevin McCullough. And lo and behold, he's averaging 21 points a game. He is the person that I felt was the most NBA ready to make an impact. And even though there's a player like him on the team already, similarly is Josh Hart, a hustle guy that slashes, that's not necessarily a 3-point bomber. Um, he kind of is the future Josh Hart. And I believe I even mentioned that on the show.
Yeah, that was and that was his player comp coming into the league as well. So,
And
um,
that's exactly what you said. So so he was the person I was looking forward to the most. I kind of felt like Huck Porty was was also NBA ready. So I didn't really feel like I needed to see it as much from him. McCullough, because he missed so many games and the type of injury he had and the fact that he really didn't get healthy until near the end of the season, I felt like, he was the guy that would come in and shine the most and had the most to show and prove. And he's playing, he's definitely playing like it. I felt like Huck Porty was kind of a given and he hasn't been perfect, but he's been good enough to make me feel confident that excuse me, that if he needed to back up Towns, he could do it. And if you had to trade Mitch, I wouldn't be so scared about that because I feel like he's a comparable backup. I
yeah,
I, I did have high expectations for the team though, with Haporti, with McCullough, with Daddy, with Kolick, with an experienced guy like Champ. I felt like the starting five at least would be able to excel, but they've gotten off to very very slow starts. Kolick has turned the ball over way too much. He's been an absolute disappointment, and just goes back to what I've been saying. The team should at this point be looking to secure
and
a veteran point guard because Deuce is not really a point guard, and now you got Kolick as the guy behind the guy that's not even a guy. So you need to get a guy. If y'all can stay, if you can stay with me on that one.
yeah, it makes perfect sense. I'm gonna break it down individually, but you made a lot of points on everybody. Starting with McCullough, like he's the guy from last year. I thought he could have been an impactful player. Obviously, he was dealing with injuries the whole year or the majority of the year. Um, So I'm pleasantly surprised by what I've seen from him. Big 30-point game last game. I think he didn't shoot the ball well, particularly in the first game, but still had some decent numbers, and all around game was looking very strong. I was talking with Sim earlier about McCullough, and I was saying the Josh Hart comps are spot on. He might have a higher upside in the long run than Josh Hart. I think his handle is a little bit better than Josh Hart. Um, he could create for himself a little bit more, I think, and create for others a little bit more than Josh Hart. Josh Hart is great going downhill. His handle, he could do what he want going downhill, but when he got to create a shot, it gets a little iffy. So
Half court. The half court.
yeah, absolutely. So I think McCullough might shine a little bit more in the half court. Once he gets his bearings and figures out this NBA game. But yeah, he's been the biggest shining star for me so far. And I like I said, we didn't get to watch those first two games, but we played tonight. So that's one of the things that I'm definitely looking out for. How polished this is game. Everything looks good on highlights, right? But I want to see how polished it is. And then on the flip side of that, from the highlights, and this is where it's really bad. From the highlights
The low lights.
or the low lights, McCullough looked bad. I mean, pardon me, Kolick looked bad. And I say that because, they don't show defensive, they don't show bad plays. So if you're in a play, it's because you're turning the ball over and it's leading to a basket. So I don't know how many times I seen
He was in quite a few of those. It's like,
so
man,
he
you turned it over, led to a fast break again. Like, wow,
so
way too much.
it's bad when you in the highlight from the negative play because it led to a basket. So I'm just like, yo, that's not even his MO. Like, he played some last year. He played with the G League. Like, he was a low turnover guy, which was the most encouraging thing about him. And I also feel like he's been targeted on the defensive end in summer league. So if he's getting targeted in summer league, you know, that's not a good sign for his immediate future. On the big squad.
If he can't protect the ball, he pretty much has no value. He has to be a zero turnover, one turnover guy. Anything past that, you don't do enough other things that positively are impacting the team.
Hold on, let me shout out my guy Jason Benjamin with the super chat. He said, "Number one rule of summer league: do not overreact over summer league." Kodak has struggled, but he's played well with the starters last season, in my opinion. He did, and that is true. In very small stints. And again, I'm not tossing him to the curb or anything, but I mean, these are glaring things. Again, I didn't get to really analyze anything because I haven't watched the full game. But
I
like
saw
I
some,
just,
I saw some careless turnovers.
but like I said, if they showing the turnover because it's leading to the basket, so it's the offensive highlight for the other team, but he's in them because he kept constantly turning the ball over. One thing that I do think that ultimately he can fix is number one. I think everybody knows his strength is his facilitating, right? More, low turnovers, but his facilitating is his strength. But for you to maximize your strength as a facilitator, you have to be an offensive threat first. And I think that's where he's struggling. He's seeing the reads that he wants to make, but he's not drawing a double team or he's not collapsing the paint. He's not getting into the paint. He's not making himself a threat. And that when you're a threat offensively, that's when everything else kind of opens up a little bit more. And he's not a tall guy, so he can't really see over his defender or see the back end defense all the time. So I just think it's some things he got to clean up. You know what I mean? But I'll be looking
Shooting,
for it tonight.
shooting 0 for 5 from 3 is not helping either. when they know your MO was to try to get into the paint.
Yeah, and I mean any offensive production is gonna help you with your facilitating. If you're a 3 point threat, they're gonna close out hard. You know what I mean? That'll open things up. Um, if you're attacking the paint, they collapse the defense. That'll open things up for your facilitating. And it just seems like they've been on him. They've been on him. So hopefully he could clean that up. My number one guy coming into summer league to look for was Hook Porty, just to see how he bounced back from the injury, see how comfortable he was playing, and he looked before he left. You know what I mean? Like there's no hesitation. He hasn't had any dominant games. I think he
Yeah,
had
13 boards last game.
okay,
I'm gonna take that.
okay,
13 boards and two and
three blocks.
no, that was the first game. Excuse me. Yeah, 13 boards and like 3 blocks. So I'm gonna take that.
Yeah, I mean 2.5 blocks in a game in the two games. I'll take that as well. But what I meant, like he hasn't really been a dominant force, which he's not gonna ask to be do that. It's really about his energy. You know what I mean? And can he clean up the defense? Because he has that potential. The boards is wonderful. We're gonna need that as well.
And
Um,
and did you see the interview where he talked about watching Mitch and seeing how he was a monster on the offensive boards,
no,
and then he has 6 offensive rebounds.
okay,
So
okay.
he's
Well, that's dominant.
6 offensive rebounds in one game is that's heavy impact in 22 minutes. 13 rebounds in 22 minutes with 3 blocks and 2 steals. Nah, he did that. He definitely.
And that's the other thing I was gonna say. His minutes haven't been like excessive either. So he's putting these numbers up in relatively short minutes. Shout out to Knicks Nation. He said Kolick needs to improve the strength in his left hand. Defenders are sitting on his left hand and left side of the court. He can't beat it using half court. I mean, something some things he got to figure out, and just it's just concerning because I thought he was gonna have number one. This is an opportunity to show your growth and show your improvement, knowing that point guard position is pretty much open right now. You know what I mean? Like I thought the better he played now, the more likely it is he could get a fair shot. And again, even if he plays well, you got to take it with the grain of salt. It being summer league, but right now, who's the backup point guard? Are we doing it by committee, which is what it looks like with Deuce and Clarkston and Hart potentially in that second unit? But I agree with you, Shuttle. I think we do need to add that veteran depth at that position. Um, but yeah, what have you thought of Dadier? He was another guy that, shout out to Sim. He's been high on Dadier from last year. A lot of people felt like he had the easiest path to finding minutes moving forward, considering
Because they
the
wasn't looking at McCullough.
that is a fact. That is a fact. You
One of
know,
the, one of- if one of them's making the team and one isn't,
mm,
if you ask me,
uh
I
I
find
mean
it I
we
find it
have
tough. I find it tough to think that they both will make the roster, make the Big 15, because
I,
you got Deuce, Clarkson, Hart, Yabusele, and Hugporty as your second five. If you started Mitch, then let's just say we didn't. There's no point guard coming in yet. So you got Kolick, you have I think McCullough is gonna solidify. Is gonna
his
solidify that spot.
his contract's not guaranteed right now.
I don't believe so.
And and his contract wouldn't be considered a rookie contract, right? Because we have enough money to sign a rookie deal, or would it? If he's was he on a two-way last year?
Yes.
So he would be considered a rookie. He could fill that rookie contract spot. And the guy we drafted got in the draft could potentially fill the two-way spot.
Diawara. Can't overlook him. He actually played pretty good too in that
He
second
he
game.
he has.
Oh,
I was gonna mention him next.
he definitely took that coast to coast. Like, yo, move, get out the way.
He's another one that is very active. You know what I mean? Similar to Huck Porty.
Yeah, but leaner, long arms, lean, athletic, fast. Like, that's the type of player the Knicks needed.
He uses all of his strengths. You know what I mean? All his attributes.
That's a fact.
I mean, it's gonna be. I guess they got a decision to make, but I think McCullough has played great, and if he could get that rookie spot, that rookie deal, I would give it. I would give it to him as of now. Um, you could always make changes later. Put the new rookie on a two-way, and let him earn it the way young guys usually have to. Give him some experience in the
Daddy is under
Westchester.
Daddy is under contract,
Yeah, because he was a first round pick. I know he's under contract.
so I guess he's gonna be on the lineup. So you got Kolick and Daddy, I guess, are the top two for the final five slots.
Yeah, well, they guaranteed those contracts are they in there.
Right. So the contracts are guaranteed, so I guess their slots will be more likely guaranteed.
So I think it's really out of McCullough and
Diawara.
Diawara. It's really between them, I think, for that one spot. Unless they don't go veteran and they bring two, you know what I mean, bring in two rookies, which I don't see the Knicks doing that at all.
Hmm.
But Jason Benjamin, appreciate you with the super chat. He says, I think Dadier and McCullough should make the roster. If those two hit, we have two wings of the future. They should get minutes this year, in my opinion.
How they gonna get minutes? Who you gonna sit? You're not gonna play Clarkson? Clarkson and Hart are legit backup two and threes. Unless somebody sits, unless somebody's out.
I don't think he means like full rotate. Yeah, like you saying, I don't think he means full rotation minutes. I think he means, spot minutes, um, garbage time minutes. I mean, definitely, I don't think they both can. You know what I mean? They might have to split you know what I mean? Split share their minutes, throughout the season and see who's showing more, see who's proven who outplays who. I mean, if they both hit, yeah, but I think Daddy really needs more time. I like his shooting ability. I think he has moments where he shows like defensive prowess, but then he has moments where he looks lost defensively. So it's like two sides of the spectrum with him. I think McCullough is a little bit more clean with everything. You know what I mean? A little
More
bit more
polished.
polished with everything. So we'll see. They
I
said
think
Bacoma is out tonight.
I like I
Appreciate
like
the super chat, Jay.
I like Daddy's ceiling. I think long term, his ceiling could be higher than McCullough's for sure. But he's just not. He just don't got it yet. He's still he needs to play more. Like, just like, even though he's a guaranteed contract, that's somebody that needs to be in the G League getting minutes playing against U.S. talent and people that are, on the verge of being in the league or as close to the league as possible.
Let me ask you this: Do you at his max potential? What do you see his role being if he fulfills his potential?
Similar to McCullough, quality bench guys, quality bench guys. I mean, right now there's nothing in Daddy A that makes me say, okay, he's going to be an NBA starter.
Do you think he could peak at a 6-man candidate?
Maybe, maybe, you know, it just he hasn't shown enough yet. Like there's still room. There's still room for him to develop, I think. And I mean, just wearing a scout hat, I just don't see him as an NBA starter wearing my scout hat. I think I think he has potential though. Like I don't want to say like he don't got game. I'm definitely not calling him a scrub. Um, like you said, he shows signs on defense. His shot looks good very often. I love his ability to cut to the basket. That's something that, not enough US players, utilize efficiently enough. So, it's just a matter of just development right now. And you know, he's only in year two. He's only what, 20 years old?
Yeah,
Yeah. So, you know, I'm not really tripping on where he's at in the game right now. He's somebody that when you got OG, Bridges, Clarkson, and Hart and McCullough, he's not somebody you got to depend on right now, and that's okay.
I, I agree with you in a sense. The only reason I do think they can, I mean, I agree with you in McCullough's more ready now, and I do think Dadier has the higher ceiling because I definitely could see him becoming a 6-man candidate. You know what I mean? Not necessarily win it, but somebody who's in that conversation. Um, I just think McCullough has more of an all around game. I think I think Dadier at his peak might be like a 3-and-D guy, where McCullough at his peak he might be a utensil Swiss Army knife. You know what I mean? Where he may not get you the same amount of points as Dadier at his best, but he'll get you, double digit points. You know what I mean? He might be a triple double threat. You know what I mean?
Greater
With some
overall value. Greater
with some
overall value.
solid defense. Um,
Now, McCullough looked like a man out there amongst some younger guys when I'm watching him.
some comments I want to get your take on. Dia, I still can't say this dude's name. How you say it again?
Diawara.
Diawara. I'm gonna be practicing that. Diawara McCullough.
You said you was going to just call him Muhammad.
I did say that. Are the most intriguing prospects to see this year playing time at the wing. I think Muhammad's future could be super bright as well
He
because
he could be have a higher ceiling than both of them.
he might. I ain't even going front. Um, I don't expect to see it this year though, but I say put him in the G League. Let him get that playing time that you're talking about, where he could just,
Ball out.
grow. Then you bring him. Then you bring him back,
Yeah.
and then
Ultimately, he's the guy that replaces Yabusele. Yabusele's what, a 2-year contract, right?
mhm,
Yeah.
play
So
option too. I think,
yeah. So yeah, Yabusele's already 30 years old. I mean, unless he balls out of control.
and if he does, he's just gonna raise his value. You know what I mean? Like I could see him pricing himself that, and he has the player option too. So you know what I mean? If he is balling out of control, you might want to move him just to not lose him because he could opt out and be out of the price range. So I think it's a good deal for all of us. And this is Jason Benjamin's explanation on getting these guys minutes. He said cut Deuce and Hart's minute a bit. Those two are overly inflated by Knicks Nation. You can find minutes for Pack and McCullough. I don't see Deuce resigning.
Deuce is already re-signed. I don't even know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I thought he got what 2 more years this year and next year. He,
I got it right here. So Deuce contract is good for 25, 26, 26, 27, and 27, 28.
oh, 3 years. So he's just
Yeah.
starting
Yeah, he did a
3 year deal
3-year, $13 million deal, which kicked in
this year.
which kicks in this year.
Hmm. So yeah, I mean, we got him kind of locked up right now. Whether he want to resign or not. Um,
Oh no, he ain't in no position to negotiate right now.
and he's overvalued. Like he's more valuable than his price tag right now as well.
Right. He's earning his money. And I gotta say, that was Benjamin, right?
Yeah.
I gotta just say, I don't really value Deuce that highly. I've said it several times. I would have looked at a deal to get Mitch and Deuce to get in the starting caliber power forward. That's something I would have looked at trying to get done. But they brought Yabusele in, so I can't imagine they're going to be starting him over Mitch. So it looks like Mitch is the starting power forward along with or the starting center along with Towns at power forward. So that's where we at. But still, I don't think Deuce is the type of quality point guard you want behind Brunson. And then when you got Kolek behind Deuce, that's not good enough. So, another point guard needs to come here soon.
Yeah, I see. I mean, I still see Deuce as a two, regardless. You know what I mean? Like, um,
And then
I, I,
Clarkson's a two. Josh
he is,
Hart.
but I'm more comfortable with Clarkston running the one just because he has the handle. You know what I mean? And he could collapse the paint, and you know what I mean? Like he won't be a pass first guy, but he could create as well. I'm more comfortable with Clarkson running the point at this point currently the way the roster's constructed. Let me ask you this about McCullough and Josh Hart. If McCullough starts to shoot the ball well and shows that part, he might be able to supplement those minutes for Josh Hart at times, considering that's the comp and they have kind of similar strengths. So yeah, I could see that happening where now you may play him at the two, you know, and this is not starting. I'm just saying a lineup with him at the two, Mikal at the three, OG at the four. You know what I mean? That's a good depth lineup if he's shooting the ball well. You know what I mean? So I could see that. Dadier, I think he has the toughest role to 5 minutes. I know a lot of people are high on him, and I mean not so much. Not that I'm low on him. I just don't think he's ready yet and consistent in any one area yet to kind of have something to hold his hat on. Because a lot of times, just to get your place in the league, you got to find one niche first. You know what I mean? One niche will get you on the floor. You know what I mean? If you're a rebounder and you do that well, and you just not horrible at everything else, you could find a rope. They could find a role for you. If you're a good defender, you know what I mean, and got some holes in other areas, they could find a role for you. So I just think he doesn't have any defined skill set yet. A lot of people speak to the shooting. I like the way the shot looks. You know what I mean. Like I think the mechanics are good, but I don't think he's consistent yet.
He's the type of guy that if you were the Utah Jazz last year you give minutes to, and you throw them out there and you let them play. But Knicks fans, this is an NBA championship level team you're talking about here. I'm not trying to find minutes for Daddy A right now. You know what I mean? And I'm not sorry about that. You know what I mean? If situations dictated that he needs to get minutes because it's a night off, a player's injuries, things like that, you're down by 20, 30 points, you just want to see if somebody can give you a spark. These are the times when he plays. You know what I mean? But right now, you got OG, you got Bridges, guys that are pretty elite at their positions, guys that are going to play 30, 35 minutes a game easily, no matter who's coaching. And then you've got Clarkson and Bridges, Clarkson and Hart behind them. Like, okay, yeah, Hart maybe is not performing well, not shooting well. You need somebody to come in that could hit the deep three. Okay, yeah, then maybe in those situational, spaces, you put Daddy A in. That's where he fits.
Hold on, JB. Appreciate you with the super chat. He said Daddy A ceiling is the sky, 6'10 wing that can shoot. He's only 19. He needs rep and playing time. He has he's the best pure shooter outside of Cat, in my opinion.
Mm,
Um, is he a four? Is he a three or a four?
a three.
It, it, um,
And I did say, for the record, just so we clear, I did say I think he has a higher ceiling than
McCullough.
McCullough. I think he has a high ceiling. Like, I just think he needs the minutes. I just think the minutes where he need to be getting them is in the G League right now. Because there he can play 25, 30 minutes a game. He can work on dominating a game. He can work on, having go-to moves and
playing
executing,
through playing through mistakes.
playing
That's
through
the big.
mistakes.
That's the biggest thing. Like I don't because he does have the potential, the ceiling, but the reps on a big squad come with the mistakes. You know what I mean? The learning curve. Are we in that position to? So I agree. Let him dominate in the G League. He's under contract, so it's not like you got to worry about him
He ain't
getting
going nowhere.
poached. You know what I mean? Like, let him get the reps there. I'm not saying don't play him at all. You know what I mean? He'll get spot opportunities throughout the season. It's a long season, but let him show it down there. I agree though. The ceiling, he probably has the highest ceiling. Him and Muhammad, he have the highest ceiling out of the.
Oh, you know who we forgot when we were talking about the rest of the third string? Najee.
Mm. I mean, he might be the rookie contract as well, because he's not under contract either.
Right.
So, you know, or because he just we got his rights. We didn't sign him. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So we still would have to sign him. So again, if there's only two spots, one rookie, one veteran, it's only going to one. You know what I mean? One person. That's either Muhammad, McCullough, or Najee. And I like his ceiling too. I haven't seen has he played though? I haven't seen really any highlights or anything. So he's another guy I'll be looking out to see tonight if he's there.
He played in game 2 versus Celtics. He only had 2 points in 9 minutes.
Yeah, they might already see him as a two-way guy as well right now. You know what I mean? Until things got to get cleaned up. You know what I mean?
Until somebody get traded.
So
That's
he
what's
he,
gonna happen.
he might be a two-way. I think it's out of right now. I think it's really out of McCullough and Muhammad who gets that rookie contract like on the team.
Yeah,
But
some
you
good
watch
minutes.
You watching the game tonight, or I think it's
Uh,
at 6. Or you on a
I
money
gotta
move?
hit. Yeah, I gotta hit the streets. I got something I'm cooking up, and so I got a business meeting at 5. But I do get the DVR set.
No doubt, no doubt. But I might do something tonight, right after the game. Little short video, give my thoughts. Now that I get to fully watch a game and analyze it, and then later tonight I'll be on with Sim when he gets settled. So I'll check you guys tonight. Hold on, pardon me. Let me hit my guy JB again. I want fewer heart minutes and more 98 minutes. Give me a Ben Simmons, Clarkson, 98, Yabusele, Haporti bench. Shooting, length, defense. This, in my opinion. I ain't
Ben
gonna front.
Simmons,
I
look
ain't
at
gonna front. I'm on the Ben Simmons train, yo. I think. Listen, this is what I'm gonna say. If he's coming here for the veteran minimum, then I'm not worried about motivation. You know what I mean? Because I know he's not trying to finish his career as a vet minimum guy, and he already had that take that sacrifice once. Um, at the vet minimum, I do it. I do it. I know what the holes are. I know what his deficiencies are. But you talk about switchability on defense, all 5 guys. As long as you surrounded him, like you can't play him with Josh Hart. You know what I mean? You can't play him with Mitchell Robinson. But other than those 2 guys, I think you could put him in with any mixture of guys and utilize his strengths only, and it'd be effective. Um, once I realized the free throw shooting is not as bad as I thought, you know what I mean? They're not gonna be intentionally fouling him at 70%. You know what I mean? So I ain't gonna lie, I'm rocking with Ben if we could get him, especially for that price.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought about it. If you don't get another point guard, is that a decent alternative? Somebody else that can bring the ball up. Like you said, Clarkson can handle the ball, and depending on who they're playing against, maybe he does it more than Deuce. All right, cool. I can live with that. Ben Simmons, man, oh man, this guy, man,
The the
this guy.
only the, the only thing is, I just thought about this too. As most likely, either Josh Hart or Mitch Robinson is starting, which means one of those guys is gonna have to play with Ben. If I had to choose at that point, I would start Mitchell Robinson and have Josh Hart in that second unit. I'd rather Mitchell Robinson with the starters than Mitchell Robinson with Ben Simmons on the second unit. And if you're starting Mitchell Robinson, you kind of control that hacker Mitch strategy. You know what I mean? When you're putting him in later in the game, in the halves and the quarters, there's already collection of fouls. So you may be one away from the penalty. You may be in the penalty. It limits his when you could use him. If he's starting games, starting quarters, they're not going to do that strategy because now they're putting themselves in the bonus with more time left. So I think even for that factor, I would start Mitchell Robinson. But I guess we'll find out soon. Like with the
Not soon enough. It's only July, but we still got 3 months.
that's true. But we'll be speculating the whole time unless some moves is made. Shuttle, appreciate you, man. Always jumping in, spare the moment. But yeah, man, get that money. You know what I mean? Anything you want to promote before we get out of here? Any bookings that's not private? I know you be having the private jets that everybody
Yeah,
can't come.
not everybody can go. You heard? Everybody can go. Just most importantly, DJ Shuttle NYC on the IG and the threads and the TikTok. Stay in tune with me, DJ Shuttle NYC. And yeah, man, 2026 August, we going to Barbados. DJ Shuttle, Miss Jones, Jada Kiss, you know, CEO Les, the whole team is going to be a big situation out there. And yeah, the Queen, she already got her tickets. She already lined up. So we're talking about, the Queen from Queen's Court, that is, and we're going to be doing live podcasts out in Barbados next summer. So, listen, get in or fit in, whichever one.
I'm still working on it, but I'm trying to get there.
Hey, listen, we hope you there, Tone.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I'll talk to you about it off air. Matter of fact.
Understood. But listen, keep it locked. Replay gang, shout to y'all, man. Knicks and Bruises. Yo, Black is time.
Yes, sir. Until next time, your blackest time. I know, JJ. I'm working on a call-in show. It's coming soon. That's the next progression. But check me out on the post game. I'll see you then. Peace. Yeah.